Oh, do you know what someone said? Someone goes, I like that you don't have an intro and you just like go. But it is funny that it does just kind of like start. Okay, so I literally got back from, hi, welcome back. I have such terrible beginnings to these podcasts, but whatever. Okay, so I just got back from Portugal literally like 10 hours ago, kind of. No, that's probably right. You guys know how I am with math, so that's probably incorrect. But I landed last night at like 11. My flight got delayed because, of course, it's me and it's me traveling. So, and naturally, there were issues. I swear I like employ people to get, not employ. What's the word I'm looking for when I'm like, I employ you to like not come near me in regards to travel? Is that right? IMPLOY, employ. Like I urge you, we're going to go with urge. I urge people, not implore. I don't fucking know. Okay. I urge people to honestly just stay clear of me when they're traveling because something will always go wrong with my flights. So my flight got delayed coming from London to back to Nashville. But listen to this. So I took a nonstop flight from Nashville to London, which is accessible and available and wonderful that it is. Pretty random that there's a nonstop flight. Okay, let me break it down for you a little bit, okay? I don't think I'll be doing it again. Because here's the thing. It did cost a little bit more, which like, that's fine because I'm literally coming out of my back door of my like home in Nashville versus like when I leave from New York, it's like a lot more hustle and bustle. There's a lot more Ubers involved. It's further away. Like the airport is 15 minutes away from my house. So I will say it was really nice last night to have landed from London and straight up just like 15 minutes to my house and I was here. However, the planes aren't good. It's not a good plane. I am not this bitch and I get it. If you're listening to this, you're like, oh, first world problems. Guess what? I be living in the first world and I be having problems. So I'm going to tell you guys about it because here's the thing. The plane that you take from JFK, so the airport in New York, to London, that shit is luxe as fuck. I mean, I went on that Emirates flight from Chicago to Dubai, which is supposed to be like the most luxurious way to travel ever. And it was really nice, but it doesn't really beat the plane by British Airways that takes you, also sponsor me, that takes you from New York to London. You have like a vanity with like a mirror. Obviously this is in business class, but like you have a vanity with a mirror and lights and like drawers. You feel like you're in a little hotel room. You have a pod. No one can see you. Like when it's time to like go to sleep and you put your bed, you put your seat into a bed, this little like divider comes up so no one sees you when you're like this sleeping, you know? So that they don't have that in the Nashville flight. But the flight was more expensive to fly direct from Nashville to London, and it was longer. It was 9 hours, which like 9 hours on a plane is a long time. I don't have much to complain about because one, I can't like allow myself to be that big of a twat. I am very grateful and thankful that I can afford to fly business class direct to Nashville to London. I'm not discrediting that, but the plane was busted as fuck. It was busted as fuck, and I said something. I didn't say something in a mean way to the flight attendant, but I was like, hey, I got a quick question. I've made this trip several times from New York to London. He was like, oh, yeah. Talking about the plane? I was like, I'm talking about the plane. He was like, they gave us the shitty ones. Not the shitty ones, like, you know, it got me there and back in one piece, but like, there was not a bed technically. Like, this thing just like flopped down for your legs to rest on. I was like, okay, that's not really a bed, but all right. It's more of a footrest, but all right. No Wi-Fi. Got a big issue with that. Got a really big issue with that, which, do you know what's crazy? James thought it was like so bizarre. I think it was when we first met and I was flying back from Barcelona to New York, Nashville, wherever I was going. He thought it was so crazy that I was texting him. He's like, oh yeah, all these American flights have Wi-Fi, don't they? And I was like, yeah, what do you mean? He was like, no flights in Europe have Wi-Fi. And I was like, well, you're not right. So I'm looking this up. They don't. Like, they really, like, hardly any of them whatsoever do. I just like spray tanned myself. By the way, I'm feeling like kind of sticky. I wasn't gonna spray tan myself. I was like, fuck it. But it's the first episode of this season, and as you guys know, my absolute deep desire to be as tan as possible, it really crept in. So this is a pretty fresh one. It's about an hour old, and I just like unstuck my leg from its other leg, and I'm sitting on this nice blanket so that I don't mess up my producer Courtney. We just found out boucle. boucle chair. That sounds so southern. Boucle. I was calling them buccal chairs. They're boucle. Thank you. Shouts out Jackie and Claudia from Morning Toast, because I listened to their episode and Courtney tagged me and she was like, we may have been calling these the wrong thing for a very long time. Us and the rest of the world. So anyways, no Wi-Fi. 9 hours without any Wi-Fi. Again, I know my millennial is just like pouring out of me here, but I was just a ray. I was upset. I didn't like it. I watched Downton Abbey, which was good, but then I just like found myself like, sometimes you need a little break. I would be just like flipping through my camera roll, and then I was like, anyways, I like to do like those little questionnaire things on Instagram. Listen to me. I'm like, yeah, I just couldn't do my questionnaires, whatever. You know what? Maybe there was someone on that plane that really needed to talk to their daughter who's going through a hard time and she wasn't able to because there wasn't Wi-Fi. So let's think about her in this time, okay? And let's think about me and you guys, because you didn't get a Q&A from me, those are always fun. So no Wi-Fi, pretty busted flight, but I got there. It was very nice. I should not talk shit. And the flight attendants on British Air, they're these like little English people, assuming, and they're just so posh and nice, and they wear the cutest outfits, and they're always just so lovely. So British Air killing it, but that plane should be retired. Oh, so I landed in London, right? But then I had to fly to Portugal. I had like a 3-hour layover, which was nice actually, because my flight was overnight from Nashville. So I got to the airport at 8 p.m., got delayed a little bit, left it like they were probably trying to figure out how to get the footrest down. Delayed a little bit, and then I went I landed in the morning. So it was like an overnight flight. So I slept and got to Portugal with a 3-hour layover, got to London with a 3-hour layover before I flew to Portugal. And which is great because then I got to like get ready, because obviously I like brought my whole skincare routine with me on the flight, as one does. And I like took my makeup off during the flight. Oh, do you know what's crazy? I sat beside this lady. She was so fabulous. She was, what was her name? Eugenia? I don't know. Shouts out. Doubt you listen to this podcast. Her daughter was getting married in the next like week or two, and she was flying back to London, but she's from Tennessee, met an Englishman in New York, and they had this like long distance romance. And then, yeah, now they're together and live in London and have kids. They're getting married this week. So I was like, what? That's so cute. She's like, yeah, I take this trip often. I was like, oh, cute. Then I got ready in the lounge bathroom. But when I say got ready, I mean like I fully top to bottom got ready, right? And here's the thing. James had kept saying like, oh, in the lounge, there's places where you can get ready. I don't know what I was picturing. Again, like what do I think my life is? Where I'm like, oh, where this going to be a luxe vanity in the British Airways lounge? Like there wasn't. Like it was just bathrooms, right? Bathrooms that people were like trying to use. And I was like, I was this close to asking someone like, hey, is it okay? Like I need to do my makeup in here. It's going to take me like 20 minutes, but like, can I like go in this bathroom and do my makeup? Also, it was kind of hot in there. And then I was just like, what if they say no? And then I still need to do it. So I'm just going to go in there. I'm just going to lock the door. I'm just going to do my makeup. I think there was like 3 stalls, and I definitely took one of them for half an hour. Like I definitely heard like groups of young children and their mothers like waiting to go to the bathroom. But guess what? Mama's got a contour, so you got to hold your pee-pee, little Charlie. All right, because I was doing important things. There were a couple times where I heard someone be like, "Is that one open?" They're like, "No, no one's come out of it." I'm like, they probably just thought I was taking. Oh my gosh, I had the grossest memory. Oh my god. Okay, ew. When I was in there, I thought they were talking about me at first. Oh my god, this is so foul. I shouldn't even really say this on my podcast, but like whatever. I mean, it's about poop. Trigger warning, about to talk about poop. So, I thought they were talking about me. There was clearly someone that worked in the lounge had come up and was like, no, that one's out of order. That one's out of order. And I was like, oh shit, are they saying mine's out of order? I should probably pop out and be like, it's not out of order. I'm just, obsessed with myself. So I was like about to say something. And then I realized the lady was like, oh no, what's happened? And she was like, oh, don't go in there. I can't even explain what happened. Don't even go in there. And the lady was like, oh no. But then like another person came and she did the same song and dance. Like, don't go in there. I don't even want to tell you what happened. And then another person came and was like, oh no, well, I don't mind. It's like, it's okay. I can move away. And she was like, no, what did she say? Someone has soiled not only the toilet, but then they soiled into the bin, which means the trash can. So someone shit in the trash can in the like business class lounge. I was like, oh my god. I'm just sitting there doing my makeup like, oh my god. Granted, that definitely meant they needed another restroom, and I was like just still like, putting on my highlighter. I'm like, can't believe it. That is terrible. Still got to do my makeup though. So that was foul. I just totally put that in my memory forgotten box and it just crept right back in on this podcast. So that was gross. There was actually, speaking of this, since we're on this gross topic, there's a lot of people who ask, like, are you able to go to the bathroom with your significant other on vacation? It's never easy. It's never an easy task. Like, I really, really love how much James and I like to be around each other, but sometimes you just like, how can you say like, hey, can you go away for 10 minutes and then not come back for 5 minutes after that? And don't ask any questions and don't look me in the eyes 10 minutes following that. Like, you can't, like, they just know, you know what I mean? They just know. So I don't know, working on it. Don't know if it'll ever get better. Pooping with significant others on vacation, not fun. But okay, so then I get to Portugal, right? He's so cute. He met me at the gate again. He parked at the airport again. I mean, I'm going to have to do it. So I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram or if you're just podcast listeners, but spoiler alert, James is coming to America. And I'm going to have to buck up and I'm going to have to, meet him at the airport. Here's the thing though. He's flying into New York. I don't have a car in New York. You know what I mean? Not like renting a car in New York. So I'm going to have to, and I already know I'm going to do this because like, duh, I'm sweet, but I'm definitely going to have to like Uber to the airport, wait for him, and then Uber back with him, which of course he's like, no, you don't have to do that. That's crazy. But like, of course I'm going to do it because this man has waited at me at every gate, every time, parked at the airport. Oh my gosh. It's so kind. So that was really sweet. I'd missed him obviously a lot. That was the longest we'd gone since not seeing each other. So it was like a solid like month and a half. And then we get back to, so we immediately go to the villa that his family was staying at. A lot of people were like, I didn't see his family. Like, were they on this podcast? Oh, he's FaceTiming me. Hold on. Let me tell him in the middle of this podcast. Okay. 1 second. Hello. I'm recording right now in this moment.
Oh, so sorry.
It's okay.
No, I was just actually, I knew you'd be working, so I just thought it's cool. So I listened to your voice note. We'll catch up later.
Okay, I'll text you.
I'm just in the pub with my friends, so I'll be here probably another couple of hours.
You're in the pub with your friends. You'll be there in another couple hours. It's so English of you. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
He does this thing. He goes, bye. He does it to everyone. Bye. Okay, bye. I'm like, it sounds rude. He's like, no, I always do that. I'm like, I don't like it. Okay. So we go to, a lot of people were like, was his family there? I didn't see him. As if I'm just like walking around like, smile. Like, obviously I took a couple pictures with his like sister and stuff when we were out, or random moments we had like pictures with his family. But like, what do you think? You guys think I'm just going to shove my phone in their faces as I'm there? Like, they've welcomed me into their family vacation. I'm going to be like, all right, guys, buckle up. We're vlogging this bitch. Like, no, guys, I have some respect. Okay, so yes, they were there. So we arrived to the beautiful villa they were staying at. They were actually there a week before me, which coincided perfectly because I had my family vacation for a week at the beach. As we all know, I got sunburnt. How crazy is this? Apparently in Europe, they think tan lines are tacky or like trashy. Like not like if my boobs were white or like there was a mark right here, but they think like the strap lines are trashy. I was like, what? I think they're so sexy. I like purposely try to get them. Like Americans like try to get them. He's like, tacky. And I was like, seriously? I told Taylor, because Taylor's Hawaiian. She's like, yeah, I literally like love when I get a tan line. I'm like, me too. I'm like, look at me in the sun, obviously. And they were like, he's like, no. Also at the beach, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself, but everyone tans topless there. He's like, do you want to tan topless? I was like, no. And I'm like looking at him. I'm like, no. Well, I should. No, I don't want to. Also, I'm like, I have like as we know, like the most neutral, light nipples of anyone you've ever seen. Like literally my friends called me neutral nips in high school. Still kind of triggering. So no, I didn't want to fry those little things up. Imagine your nipples being sunburnt. Ow. No. Okay. We have talked enough about me being ginger. We know. Okay. So the answer is no. I also put on so much sunscreen. You wouldn't even believe it. I mean, I was sunscreened up. Okay, but back to the trip. So we get to the villa. Yes, his family was there, of course. And they're so lovely. And I'm not just saying this because I really don't even think they listen to the podcast. But like, they really remind me of my family in absolutely no way, shape, or form, except for the fact that they are just like fun and welcoming. My family like does not meet a stranger. They're just like so kind and they want everyone to be having fun and they want everyone to feel welcomed, and that is totally the vibe of James' family as well. And like, to be as chic and posh as they are, they're just like so truly down to earth and nice. And I'm obviously not the like, you know, easiest cup of tea to swallow, although I'm great in front of families, duh. But like, yeah, they're just so non-judgmental, so just like wonderful. And I had a great time with them there and was really thankful that they let me come on their family vacation. Got to spend a lot more time with his mom and his dad. Obviously, he's got a younger sister and a younger brother, and I'm like obsessed with trying to like impress the younger sister. It's really, her name's Bella. It's pathetic. You should see me. It is just tough to watch. I'm like, oh my God, Bella, like, look at this. Like, oh, are you on Be Real? Me too. Like, she's probably like, she's 19. So she's probably literally like, you're so old and weird. Go away. But like, I don't know. I just have this like deep, deep need to like make sure she likes me. And so anyways, I'm like, I'll sit next to Bella. But I hope she likes me. I think she does. I think we're on the right path. But it's funny because I did change. So I had 1 trillion people request me on Be Real after I talked about it. Although my Be Reals were fucking fire when I was there, because I was always in front of some like fabulous ocean or like doing something cute or at their villa, and it'd be like, it's time to be real. And I'm like, oh, it is time, baby. It is my time to shine. And I had some really cute ones. However, I did learn from Bella that I had to, my little Gen Z girly pop, I had to change my time zone. Because, you know, Be Real like pops up if you don't have the app, then it basically just like randomly alerts you. So yeah, so she switched my time zone to Europe, which I then had to switch back to America when I got here. But it was cute. It was fun. I am so real. So anyways, I don't know how to like add. I wish you could just say like add everyone, because basically I have like, yeah, I'm like so popular. Basically I have 1 million friend requests waiting. No, I probably do have like 1,000 or something though. And you have to individually accept them all. I'm like, no. So when they figured that out, oh, did you see that Instagram came out with the same thing? I was like, oh, but also so into it. I remember when, because I want everything in the same place anyways, I remember when Instagram came out with stories, and I was like, I think I posted a story on Instagram and be like, oh, are you serious? You're trying so hard to be like Snapchat. Like, you're so embarrassing, Instagram. Now it's literally my main source of income. So stories, just having stories and be able to post ads on stories. So anyways, I'll shut up because it's probably I'm gonna monetize it in some way, shape, or form, and I need to not talk shit. But it's so funny how Instagram sees something popular and they're like, we'll do it too. I'm like, all right, Instagram, you can do it too. So we were in, the place we were in Portugal, by the way, was called the Algarves. It was gorgeous. So the villa we stayed in was in this like, I don't know, would you call it like a community or like a gated, like a gated community. It's called La Quinta, I think it's called La Quinta. Anyways, it gave me serious, first of all, it was like the most beautiful place I've ever been in my life. And then it gave me like serious Truman Show vibes. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie. Have you seen that movie, Producer Courtney? So it's basically like this movie. It's not, think Stepford Wives, but not as scary. It's like this movie where the town is perfect. Everyone's lives are perfect. And it centers around this one guy. Who is it? Jim Carrey, I think. He's is he Truman? Gosh, it's been so long since I watched it. Anyways, the whole place is just like so beautiful and so fake because it just the same thing happens every single day, but he's the only one not in on it. He thinks it's his real life, but everyone back in the real world is watching it on their TVs every day because it's just like the perfect life, the perfect everything. And I felt like that's what like La Quinta was giving me very like Truman Show vibes. Like they have this spot because obviously James and I went to the gym. Who is she? She's a gym girly. Pop. I'm getting better. I'm getting stronger, as we said in the last podcast. I'm impressed with myself. So anyways, there's this place called the Campus, and it's just like tennis courts, and they sell little like smoothies, and they have this like gorgeous like spa and this gorgeous like facility, and you can do all this stuff. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I am way too trashy to be here, but I enjoy it. It was really just like everything top to bottom was stunning. And the food is just so like the seafood at all these little like restaurants were so good. Everything's like right on the water. The water though, so cold. I am too Southern for that shit, and James loves it. He cannot get enough because that little psychopath does little cold plunges. I think his whole family does. They're like, it's so good for you. And I'm like, I know it is, but I don't want to do it. Have you ever done a cold plunge, Courtney? No. See, why? Why? First I work out and I'm happy with it. And now he's like, yeah, but recovery. I'm like, I don't need to recover. I'll take the pain. I'll take the pain of sore muscles to not dip my body. Also, how will my spray tan react? We don't know. We don't know. So no, it's a no for me on the cold plunge. But James actually every day, every single day, as he takes a shower, like a lukewarm shower, and then before he gets out, he switches it to cold, freezing cold for the last like minute of a shower. I'm like, you're a psychopath. You're so hot. It's like the scale. You're hot, but you're crazy. He's hot and crazy because who wants to be cold like that all the time? It is beyond me. I'm out. For those reasons, I'm out. Not of the relationship, but the cold plunge. So anyways, yeah, it's just really a fabulous place. Had a great time for 4 days. Oh, do you know what I drank a lot? Gin and tonics. She's a G&T girly, okay? Really refreshing. I had one on the plane just to kind of like immerse myself in the culture. And also everyone around me was like, I'll have a gin and tonic. I'll have a gin and tonic. I'll have a gin and tonic. And they got to me. I wasn't going to be like, oh, tequila soda or a glass of wine. So I was like, I'll have a gin and tonic. But then they asked me which kind of gin. And I was like, what she had in that row right there. That looked delicious. But it was really, really good. And they're like, I don't know. I always thought gin tastes like Christmas trees, but it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe my palate's changed. Maybe COVID changed my palate. Who knows? So we left the villa after, I was only there for 4 days. It was, like I said, lovely. The dinners and everything were just amazing. We would like go to these little beaches and just like lay out. Oh, James is so tan. It's so hot. And I was telling Courtney earlier, I'm like, it's diabolical. He is literally like the color of a mahogany dresser. Like he is what like shade of tan I could not spray on my body if I emptied the whole bottle onto myself. Like he's so tan and he really doesn't try that hard. Like he doesn't go out and like sunbathe. He just exists that tan. It's concerning and I'm really jealous of it. But we left the Algarves and we went to Cascais. Yes, I am saying that correctly. Wait, his mom at dinner helped me and now I'm like losing touch of it. Cascais. I think that's right. Oh, Marcia, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. Okay, so we go to Cascais, which was one of his friends, basically. So James and I originally were going to go to Lisbon. And then one of his friends that's from there, who's Portuguese, was like, you should go to Cascais and then just like drive into Lisbon for a night or like get a taxi, whatever, for a dinner one night. And James just like on a whim was like, yeah, I looked it up. It looks pretty. So we got a hotel there and we basically didn't know like much about it other than it was like a really beautiful like beach town versus where we were going to be in Lisbon was obviously much more like city. So I was like, cool, yeah, let's do it. As we drove in, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like it was gorgeous beyond belief. Like you couldn't even, I don't know if y'all saw on my Instagram, I have a Portugal highlight too saved you can go look at, but like the views, and we can insert some pictures too, because like what? It was just stunning. It was stunning. The water, the waves, the like rocks. It was like a really rocky beach, which was really pretty. Anyways, we get to the hotel. We had booked like a really swanky room, whatever, because we were only there for 2 days, but they did not do it justice, which is so odd. Like normally you see pictures and then you get to the hotel and you're like, are you fucking kidding me? Courtney and I know all too well in New York. We're like, are you serious? Like this is not what this is supposed to look like. Opposite. I'm like, put me on your marketing team on the freaking hotel because you guys did not do this justice. They didn't even show like one of the private terraces that's a part of that room. I'm like, that would be like nice to have shown. It was the most stunning room. I've stayed at Le Cernuse in Italy, which is like an iconic hotel, and this beat it. Like it was just, God, it was gorgeous. And Cascais is like this like really like fun, lively, but also like slow moving, if that makes sense. It's big like surfer town. The waves there apparently are some of the biggest waves in the world. I think actually this German surfer just broke the record for tallest wave surfed in Portugal. I don't know if it was like the same beach we were on, but definitely in that area. And it was like an 84-foot wave. I watched the video on the ride in. It's pretty fucking gnarly, dude. It was cool. It was sick. I was so scared. The ocean honestly scares me. My mom won't go in the ocean. My mom does not like the ocean. My dad will tiptoe into it kind of. I don't know what it is. We're just like not big ocean folks. Maybe because we grew up on a lake, but like my mom's dead ass calls the ocean Dey House. She's like, no, that's Dey House. And I'm like, what? And she's like, the sharks. That's Dey House. They don't come in my house. I don't go in Dey House. That's Dey House. And so my mom, literally my whole family calls the ocean Dey House. So yeah, we don't frolic into Dey House too often. And the oceans in Portugal, is my underwear showing? Oh no, this is probably covering it perfectly. We can leave that in. So anyways, yeah, I was basically, the water's frigid, but James loves it. But it's crazy because like everyone there, you can just tell they're just like, this is the ocean that surrounds them, like locals and Portuguese people, and there's a lot of French people there. You can tell that they just like, this is what they have. So this is what they're used to. I'm used to like boiling bubble bath water in our oceans and lakes around us. So I'm just like, ew, what? Why would I want to get in that? It's not refreshing. But it was really, really stunning. There was one day we just like laid on the beach, had like pizza and Aperol spritz by the water, and just had the best time. Like I said, everyone kind of tans topless. It was like the most European looking beach ever, and it was just super fun. Then we did go into Lisbon for one of the nights, which was gorgeous. Definitely like gave me like Barcelona vibes. Like it's just very much like a city with like little alleyways and stuff. And James said the same thing. He's like, I totally get Barcelona vibes from this as well. So it was really pretty, and we had like a great dinner. But we both were like, we're so glad that we stayed in Cascais and then just like popped over to Lisbon, because it was just it was stunning. And we rented a car, and we actually drove from Algarves to Cascais, so it was like a 3-hour drive. It's funny because we haven't ever done like a road trip together, and that was James is a very focused driver, which is great. That is good. But you know me, I'm like, oh my god, look at this TikTok. He was like, I can't right now. And I'm like, okay, I'll wait. And then I'd like wait till he like slowed down a little bit. And I'd be like, see, look. And he's like, shit, I can't look at that right now. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no, for sure. Me, I'm just like looking at TikToks, whatever. Okay. And then, oh, this is funny. I was like, let's do a Q&A on our 3-hour drive. He's like, cool. Yeah. He actually said, yeah, that's a good idea. He was so stressed out, to be fair. The local drivers around there, fucking crazy as hell. Like they're just swerving into other lanes. I don't know like what they're doing, but to his credit, he was like, my surroundings are not safe right now. And I was like, they're not. But yeah, we did a questionnaire, and when we finally got to Cascais, which was like decently stressful, when we got there, I was like, oh, good job. On the 4-hour drive, we managed to answer, do you prefer Coke or Pepsi? And do either of you snore? So I'm like, really riveting shit over here, okay? So that didn't get done. We'll have to save. Now that James is coming to America, he will be on a podcast. I asked him, and he said, sure. And I was like, sure. He's like, no, of course I will be. And I was like, sure, or you will be. He was like, no, I'll be on it. I think he's nervous. We're just going to drill him. No, we won't. We'll be nice. But I feel like it'll be nice also to like tell you guys about him. Instead of just like answering questions, like tell you a little bit about his life too, like how he grew up, whatever. But a little insight into Mr. Middleton. But when we checked out of the hotel in our rental car, yeah, we went back. We checked out. How crazy is this? I was just telling producer Cordy, shouts the fuck out to Iris. Okay, so we're checking out, and this super cute girl's checking us out. I think I asked for a late checkout. She was wonderful. She's very helpful, very kind. And then as we checked out and signed the, papers or whatever, she was like, by the way, I just have to say, and I mean, I'm not just saying this to sound like humble. I dead ass was like so shocked. She was like, I just want to say, I love listening to your podcast. And I was like, mine? And she was like, yes. And I was like, my podcast? James was probably like, don't be rude. But I was like, seriously? Like, I don't know what I thought she meant. Like, I don't know if I thought like she heard someone say I have a podcast, or I don't know, but I was just like floored that I was in this tiny town in Portugal called Cascais, and the lovely person who was checking us out in this hotel was like, I'm a podcast listener. You guys, we're fucking global, baby. That just made my day. And she also said like the sweetest stuff about me on Instagram. She said she doesn't like to follow like a ton of influencers because they can seem fake. And she was like, you're just really down to earth and like say what's on your mind. Where is that? I swear I come back from vacation and there's fruit flies everywhere. Ew. I don't think I killed it. Sorry. Back to Iris. Iris, you're lovely. You're a gem. And you like made my day. I was trying to act like a little bit more cool, but like I got into the car and I was like, shut the fuck up. And he was like, that is crazy. And I was like, that is crazy. Call me Pitbull, but wait, is it Pitbull that says Mr. Worldwide? Yeah, Pitbull. I'm going to wear a ball cap. Okay. So that was just like really cool and just made me have a moment of like, whoa, holy shit. So obviously, by the way, this is the new season and we're super excited. I'm not sure there's going to be ads in this particular podcast. I could be wrong. I could be just fucking slamming ads down your throat by the time this comes out, but there will be moving forward. So I appreciate everyone being like so kind and wonderful. You are messaging me like, yes, queen, we're going to listen to all the ads. You deserve it. And I'm like, oh, stop it. I love y'all. So shouts out to the Probably Podcast listeners. You guys are the fucking goat. And I just don't say it enough. I love you guys very much. And yeah, so we get back to London after we were in Cascais for a couple days. So basically like a week in Portugal. And then I wanted to end in London a little bit, which a lot of y'all asked me, by the way. One of my questions on there was like, does life always feel like a vacation with James? Like, do you ever wonder what like real life would feel like? And I'm like, baby, my life is a vacation. No, I'm just kidding. I would never be that fucking lame. But we do like, I just said doo-doo. We actually do like, I'm such a fucking child. Sorry. I cannot help myself sometimes. We also as well have existed in each other's like day-to-day lives. Like when I went back to London, there was 3 days of us just in London. One day we did go to York, which is such a cute town. He had to film an ad for the train company. Trains fucking rule, right? They're cool. Why don't we have trains? Do we have trains? We got trains. I should go on trains in America. They are cool. They were so like plush and cute, and you just sit on your little laptop or like watch. I mean, I watched Downton Abbey. Like, imagine me just in all these like European places, mostly in like England, and everyone just like passing by, looking at my laptop, probably like, this bitch. Like, I'm literally just watching Downton Abbey. Whatever. But yeah, it was just so nice. And we got there in like 2 hours, and it was lovely. And I loved it. I had a boiled egg. Planes, trains, and automobiles, I will always eat a boiled egg in public. And I don't care. And I feel like a lot of people judge me for that. And you shouldn't, because boiled eggs are filling and delicious. And they don't smell. Everyone's always like, oh, you open that in front of people? I'm like, boiled eggs don't smell. I didn't like leave the boiled egg for a week and then eat it. It's just a boiled egg. It smells like nothing. Ugh. God, exhausting. No, so we go on the train to York, which was really cute because York is like one of the oldest. I'm gonna botch this. This is a made up fact that I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure it's like one of the oldest places in. Nope, I don't know. It's a very old town. I think it's one of the only like medieval, like they've kept it like preserved. That like all the little like, I do know this for sure. There was lots of Harry Potter stores, and I was like, oh my God, did they film Harry Potter here? So then we Googled it, and they didn't film Harry Potter there, but York itself was like the inspiration behind like Diagon Alley and all these other little like places and moments of Harry Potter. York was inspiration. So just like picture the whole town looking very Harry Potter-esque, which was cool. So that was nice. We only just spent one day there and then took the train back in the morning. Listen to me, took the train back in the morning. It was really fun. And then, yeah, we just had like 3 days to just chill, or 2 days to just chill, which I mean, for he and I both like working on our phones for most of it, like there were many times where like we were just like walking his parents' dog or going to the grocery store or sitting on our phones in silence while we both worked, and then occasionally being like something, you hungry? Yeah. So like, I mean, our whole time spent together isn't always la la land, but I do see your point. Like, we're always doing something like really fun and spontaneous, but we also like have to plan our trip. So we're not going to be like, okay, you're flying 9 hours to see me. Let's like sit on the couch for 4 days. Like, we're obviously, our time is so limited that when we do get to see each other, we want to plan like fun stuff. But you know what? There are always going to be haters out there. Haters are not my motivators. They really bring me down. They really crush my soul and my will to live sometimes, to be completely honest. But I've never really understood that phrase. Let your haters be your motivators. I'm like, they are hurtful. I don't like them. But yeah, I was like, I got like sucked into this, like some troll on Instagram. And I was like, they were just being so mean. Like, he's never visited you. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding? Riddle me this. Okay. Hear me out. All right. You got two options. You can sit your ass in America, right? You can chill in America, which of course would be wonderful if he'd come to America. We could do a bunch of fun stuff like we will when he comes. But like, I've been in America, right? I've been doing summers in America. I meet this guy who's basically like already has these fabulous trips planned, and is like, come to Portugal for a week, come to London for a week, have yourself a European summer. What if I was like, nope, you gotta come to me first. Like, the fuck? Why the fuck wouldn't I want to have a European summer? I mean, it's like, you just keep flying to him. And I say everyone, literally it's this amount of people, and the nice people so far outweigh that. But you know, I am only human, and sometimes I let it get to me. But I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh, you know what? Like, you'll never win with those people. Like, it's funny because that same troll, like I had opened up this string of messages, right? And it was like, you know, a bunch of mean shit, like I just said. But then a lot of them were like, he's never coming to America. You're putting in all the effort. You're obsessed with him. He's not as obsessed with you. I was like, could be true. I don't know. I'm just kidding. He's obsessed with me too. So anyways, it was like this. And then I guess I must have posted, or I know I did. I posted that James had booked his flight to America, right? You know what the next one was? Of course he's coming to America when you're planning the whole trip for him. I'm like, okay, you can't argue with insanity. Like, these people are so sad, and like I'm so sorry to say this because I feel like it's a really big insult, but like, y'all are fucking losers. You are. I feel like being a loser is the biggest, hardest, meanest insult, and you guys are fucking losers. So I said it. You're losers. And you are. You're just fucking losers that are really good at losing, and you're sore losers, you're good losers, you're all just fucking losers. You lose, and I win. Because I had a fabulous European summer with my hot boyfriend, and now he's coming to America, so fuck off. That's how I deal with my haters sometimes. Yep. And I block that bitch. So you're blocked. Doesn't take much. God, someone said something. Someone was like, that skirt is way too long on you. You should have gotten it hemmed. And I blocked him. I was like, you're blocked. You're blocked. Don't talk about the hem of my skirt. You're blocked. Okay. So it was the way she said it. I didn't like her tone. So yes, he is coming to America, which I'm very excited to plan, by the way. Like, he plans everything when I go to Europe. It's so cute too. He has so much stuff planned. I'm just really happy. Okay, anyways, I'm not going down that road again. We all know I'm happy. I won't be obnoxious. But yeah, so a lot of people asked if he has been to America before. He has. So he went to New York. His dad used to work in New York a lot in banking, I think. So yes, he went to New York one time when he was like 12. And then he went to California, I think Santa Monica, when he was 22. So basically, he's like seen a bit, but not in his adult age, like his age that he is now. He's really excited. I think what we're doing, this is rough. This is a rough draft because he literally just booked his flight 2 days ago. But I think what we're going to do is he's going to fly into New York. Got to get that good plane. You know what I'm saying? Can't be putting him on a ratchet plane heading to Nashville. So he's going to fly to New York, and then we're going to spend a few days in New York, which he's so cute. He's like, I know that you don't, that's a bad accent. Sometimes I get his little sister was like, do your English accent. I was like, I can't, it's too much pressure. I can't do it on the spot. And she actually was like, wait, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to put you under pressure. I was like, no, I'm just kidding. But like, I can't do it on the spot. But he was like, listen, I know you don't like really want to do this, but, is there any chance we could, like, I would like to see Times Square. And I'm like, of course. Like, I fucking still like to see Times Square. Like, I love that cheesy shit. And he took me to like Piccadilly and, you know, King's Cross. So yeah, we will do like some tour. You guys, as you know, I haven't been in New York all that much for someone who has a fucking place there. Whoops, met, you know, someone I really like, and he happens to live across the world. So I haven't been utilizing my place in New York too much, but I am going to New York Fashion Week. Shouts out, you guys. New York Fashion Week. Look at me go. Okay, so I'm not going to like Fendi shows or anything, but I am going to some pretty cool stuff, which you guys will have probably already seen because this episode will come out after Fashion Week. So I'm really excited about that. Who knows? I haven't picked out anything to wear. I'm trying to like not let myself go overboard because like I'm also like low-key a nobody, so it's not getting to spend trillions of dollars on outfits that someone's going to be like, who's that girl that nobody knows wearing that cute outfit? So we're going to figure that out. We're going to figure out a cost-effective way to be the baddest bitch, which we're always trying to do in this lifetime. Be cost-effective and the baddest bitch that we can be. So, yeah, we're going to start in New York, and then we are going to come to Nashville. Obviously, I'm literally looking at my living room, how it's still not finished, and I've lived here since March, and I'm like, okay, so this will put a fire under my ass to get everything finished. And then we will go to South Carolina. Obviously, I have to show him where I grew up. So I just cannot wait. I mean, like the local bar that we all go to is called Catfish Johnny's and or Boondocks. So seeing his cute little English ass in there just brings me much joy. I cannot wait. Also, everyone in America is obsessed with anyone that has an accent. So I'm just like, everyone's going to just like fawn all over him and be like, oh my gosh, where are you from? We're not going to be able to go to fucking Kroger without someone being like, oh my God, stop. Which, it's cute. But yes, then we will go to South Carolina, and then I'm trying to decide. I really want to show him. So he played rugby his whole life. I really want to show him American football. I just feel like that'd be fun. So we'll see. We shall see. So then that is our trip to America, or his trip to America, ours. And then, this is actually really exciting that I forgot about too. So he had already had, I'm like, all these trips he had planned. And I'm sure everything like, and there she goes again, traveling across the world. Like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. But I'm so excited because he already had this trip planned to South Africa. Let me tell you something. I told Courtney earlier, never, ever, ever. Just when I think, you know what, Shannon? You're a smart girl. You're intelligent. You got a good head on your shoulders. I'm reminded that I am such a dumb bitch. I just hit the mic, but I am such a dumb bitch. Because listen, he was like, yeah, I'm going to South Africa for a month and a half. I think it's like about a month and 2 weeks. He was like, obviously this is already planned, but I'd love for you to come to South Africa with me. And I'm like, oh my God, fun, cool. Cape Town. Like, how fun, like, love. Yes, I'll totally go for like, 2 weeks or something. Me on the move. So anyways, we decided, yes, we picked the dates we talked to. We might be like partnering with a hotel or like a resort while we're there. So we're like putting things firmly in. So today I was just like, well, might as well look up flights and just kind of get my mom's a travel agent. So it's just like ingrained in my soul to like look into these things on the front end. And I was like, I should probably go ahead and look into this. Okay, here's the thing. Let me just like give you a ballpark of what I thought. I thought it would be the same distance as, let's say, what it took me to get to Portugal. What it took me, I knew it'd probably be further than London. I knew that. But everywhere James goes, like they can go to Greece in 2 hours. They can go to Spain in an hour and a half. They can go all these fucking places so quickly because you're so lucky if you live in Europe, right? So I don't know why. I was just thinking. I was just like, thinking. It was probably pretty close. So I put it in my little Google Flights, and it literally says 28 hours. From and I put New York. I didn't put like Nashville. I put New York. 28 hours from New York to Cape Town with an overnight layover in Istanbul. I don't want to be in Turkey by myself. No offense. Don't want to be anywhere by myself that I'm not used to, and I don't want to go to there. Okay? I don't. And I was perplexed at my just absolute vast unprecedented fucking stupidity. I am such a dumb bitch. And so I'm like, okay, you ready? I doubled down on the dumb bitch. I'm like, well, no worries. I'll just fly into London and then I'll catch like I guess probably 4-hour flight, to South Africa from London. I'll just do that. Way easier that way. So I'm like, so that's like that's a 6-hour flight to London. And then I'm like, okay, perfect. What is London to Cape Town? Bitch, it's 12 hours nonstop. Like, let's just say you get lucky and you get on this very expensive nonstop flight. It is 12 hours. What is wrong with my brain? Who never, like, did I have strep throat the day that like geography class was just like in its entirety? Like, does my mom need to go to like, what's it called when you keep your kids out of school? Truancy. Yeah. Does my mom need it? We should look into that. Cause I think I was held out of school. I think I was held out of class, and I think this is not my fault, but I am so unaware. You know what? My mom is like really appalled. Actually, she can't possibly be to blame for this because she literally is a travel agent who like knows every airport code from here to Istanbul and back. And so she can tell you every capital of every city and everything. So even she sometimes looks at me and is like, you're not serious. Are you being funny? And I'm like, no. So I don't know why I was like, I'm just gonna like pop over to South Africa for a couple weeks with my boyfriend, and now I'm like, fuck, this is like a thing. Like, this is like, I think I need to stay a little bit longer. It's like a whole thing. God, I literally feel like a character from Mean Girls. Like, I literally feel like I'm Karen. I'm like, there's a 90% chance it's already raining and you don't know shit about geography. But I am going to South Africa, where there's a will, there's a way, and I would prefer not to have a layover in Istanbul. I think I say that pretty like right. But yeah, I don't want any travel experience that takes me 28 hours. I don't want that. So I got to figure that out. I was like, where's a cute little place I could like hop over to in between? Didn't see much. So, yeah, we're going to figure that out. But in the meantime, upcoming guests that we are having, and the reason I'm going, well, first of all, I want to go to South Africa because it just sounds fucking cool. And James is like, come. And we, like I said, we might be doing a partnership with a hotel, which that would make like alleviate a lot of the cost of the trip as well, which would be nice. Cause apparently the fucking flight's going to cost me $1 million if it takes me 28 hours to get there. But yeah, so, a lot of questions about long distance. Like obviously questions about that, which I don't really know how to answer because like I'm just working my way through it. I will say he and I have been very good about having a trip planned every time before I leave, which is like really good because you have like a countdown to look forward to. You're not just like, I'll see you when I see you, or let's book stuff. It's like you're already excited about something and you kind of leave on like a happy note. However, I've never done long distance. He's never done long distance. So we're just kind of trying to see. If I didn't go to South Africa though, let's say like, I'll give you kind of like a timeline. Like I'm basically don't see him for a month and then I see him for a week or two. So far, this is how it's been working. Don't see him for a month and a half. I see him for 2 weeks. Don't see him for a month, see him for 3 weeks, whatever. So if I didn't go to South Africa, and like I said, all these trips were planned before he knew I existed. So I can't blame him for that. Just being a worldly man. If I didn't see him in South Africa, I wouldn't see him for 3 months because then comes his Christmas vacation with his family and I have a bunch of shit going on. So like your girl's going to South Africa. We gonna be up in Cape Town, okay? So just gotta figure that out. Just gotta, they sell. Kellyanne was telling me, who was on this podcast, that they sell shower curtains. That her boyfriend got her a shower curtain, not the outside. The inside is a world map, right? Here's the thing though, I listen to audiobooks while I shower because I can't be left alone with my thoughts for a fucking second. And then when I'm not listening to the audiobook, I'm just like closing my eyes thinking a murderer is gonna be there. I just don't know if I'd study a map with a shower curtain. Also, I have a glass shower, so I don't know why I even just said that. There's no place for a shower curtain. I'm going to figure out a way to learn more about geography, though, if my life depends on it, which it doesn't, so I probably won't. Okay, and next guest's coming up. We're about to record next week with Anna Grace. I'm so excited. Fuck, I have missed her so much. Like, speaking of long distance friendships, like, Florida is swallowing all my dearest friends. Mary Carl went to Florida. Anna Grace is in Florida. It's a beautiful place. I get it, but like, fuck off, Florida. Give me my friends back. Taylor has that beach house at 38, which is gorgeous. And I swear sometimes I think she's just going to scoot on down to 38 sometimes. And I'm like, hey, not you two. You can't yet. So really pumped to have AG back on. Booth Squad forever. Cannot wait. We have a lot of other guests coming up. And I am really excited. Also, I was just telling producer Courtney because I have this little time clock in front of me, right? And I'm like, oh my God, shit, this thing seems like a mini episode. It's only 38 minutes or 42 minutes. And then I was like, this is bullshit. I talk so fast. You know that if this was like, if I talk at a regular speed, this podcast would be like an hour and 10 minutes. Someone actually told me once that they have to put my podcast down a speed so they can like hear me. And then a lot of people obviously are always like, I swear I thought I had accidentally clicked like 2 times speed on your podcast and I didn't. I'm like, no, you didn't. So we just need to reiterate that these episodes are long. They're packed full. They're just chocked full of great information. And yeah, they may timestamp wise seem short, but they're long as fuck. I just talk fast. So especially with solo episodes catch me absolutely fucking talking so fast. Okay, I will see you guys next week. I love you.